Hello again, everyone. How to train your brain so it thinks in English. Yes, exactly. How to train your brain so that it thinks in English and you speak fluently. In previous episode, we talked about the power of speaking regularly. Today we go deeper. Instead of letting your mind translate from your first language, you'll learn to let English flow directly from thought to voice. This shift brings greater fluency, confidence, and spontaneity in everyday conversation. So don't miss this episode, it's really important for everyone. Also, please like and comment your feedback, or if you need any help, ask me in comments section. Okay, let's start. I know it can feel strange or even a little scary to stop translating each word in your head. But by the end of this episode, you'll have clear, simple steps you can use from this very moment to help your brain switch into English mode more and more often. Let's get started on making your mind an English thinking machine. Why thinking in English changes everything. When you first learn English, your brain treats it like a new set of math problems. You learn grammar rules, memorize vocabulary lists, and practice exercises. Then, when you speak, your mind must translate your native language thought into English words, rearrange them by the grammar rules, and finally speak. That extra translation step slows you down, makes you hesitate, and can leave you feeling frustrated. Imagine this. Someone asks you a simple question. What did you do yesterday? If your brain spends time translating each idea and each verb tense, the reply might be slow or incomplete. But if you already think in English, your thoughts come out ready to speak. I went to the park with my friend and we had ice cream. No pause, no worry, just natural conversation. Once your brain starts to operate directly in English, speaking feels more automatic, almost like driving a car when you no longer think about every single action. You respond faster, make fewer mistakes, and can focus on connecting with the other person instead of on the words themselves. This is why training your mind to think in English can be the secret key to real fluency. It opens the door to smoother listening, more confident speaking, and stronger comprehension. Overcoming the translation trap. Many of us get stuck in what I call the translation trap, where our default is to think in our first language and then convert each thought into English. We worry about making errors and fear that we'll sound strange if we skip a word or mix up grammar. But mistakes aren't enemies. They are signposts pointing out where your brain needs more practice. Teaches your mind a better way to form that phrase the next time. Another barrier is simply habit. If every day you read, write, and listen to English only in formal lessons, your brain keeps your first language on standby. Similarly, when your environment surrounds you with your native tongue, your mind sees no reason to switch. To break free, you must deliberately give your brain small but consistent experiences, where it has no choice but to think in English. Finally, feeling you lack enough vocabulary can make you freeze. You might think, I want to describe my weekend, but I only know a few words. The solution is to expand your active vocabulary in context, words and phrases you actually use right away, so your brain has the tools it needs to think without pausing for translation. Gently shifting your mind. Every day, build tiny daily routines. The most powerful changes come from tiny daily habits. Start by setting aside just 2 minutes each morning, perhaps while brushing your teeth or waiting for your coffee to brew, to label your actions in English. I'm brushing my teeth. The water is warm. This toothbrush is blue. At first, you may only think these sentences quietly in your head. Later, try saying them out loud. Over a week, extend your practice to 5, then 10 minutes. Your brain will begin to anticipate these English thoughts as part of your routine. Link this practice to something you already do every day, like checking your phone or tying your shoes, so it becomes automatic. The key is consistency, not duration. Even on busy days, those 2 minutes keep your habit alive and remind your mind that English thinking is important. Label your world in English. Another simple but effective strategy is to turn your environment into an English classroom. Write the English names of common objects, table, fridge, window, on sticky notes, and place them where you'll see them often. Each time you glance at a label, mentally say a full sentence. The window is open. I am opening the fridge. Within days, your brain forms direct links between objects and their English names, bypassing the need to translate first from your native tongue. If sticky notes feel too cluttered, take photos of items with your phone and add the English word as a digital note. Every time you unlock your phone, revisit 1 or 2 images and speak, "This is my computer. I am using my phone." These visual cues reinforce English thinking right in your daily life. Talk to yourself in English. Self-talk may feel odd at first, but it's one of the fastest ways to force your brain into English. Choose a simple topic, your plans for today, what you did yesterday, or your favorite hobby, and speak aloud for a couple of minutes. Describe as if you're telling a friend, "I'm going to read a book this afternoon. I watched a funny movie last night." Don't worry about mistakes. The goal is to train your mind to form complete English thoughts. Record these monologues on your phone. Later, listen back and note 1 or 2 areas for improvement, maybe a better verb tense or a clearer expression. Then record again, using what you've learned. This loop of speak, listen, refine, and speak again boosts both thinking and speaking skills. Visualization, imagining yourself in real English situations, can greatly enhance thinking fluency. Picture ordering coffee in an English-speaking cafe. You face the counter, say, "I'd like a latte, please," and hear the barista reply, "Sure, would you like it hot or iced?" Run through these dialogues in your mind as if you're in the moment, focusing on how each line naturally flows. Combine visualization with shadowing, a technique where you listen to short English recordings, perhaps 2 to 3 sentences, and repeat them simultaneously, matching rhythm and intonation. This practice, recommended by language experts, forces you to engage both your listening and speaking muscles together, gradually training your brain to predict and reproduce English without pausing to translate. Making English part of your daily tasks. To further cement English thinking, weave it into everyday activities. When you make your shopping list, write each item in English and speak the full phrase, "Buy 2 tomatoes, get fresh bread." In your journal, jot down 3 simple sentences in English about your day. "I cleaned my room. I cooked pasta. I enjoyed a walk." Even cooking becomes practice. Read a recipe in English and narrate each step aloud. "Now I add the olive oil. I stir the sauce gently." These practical uses remind your brain that English is not only for lessons, it's a living tool for daily life. The more contexts in which your mind must think directly in English, the quicker you'll break free from translation. Expanding your active vocabulary. A common stumbling block is not having enough words ready for speaking. To address this, focus on learning words in groups you need immediately, rather than endless long lists. If you discuss food often, learn terms like spicy, savory, bitter, and practice saying them. "This soup is very spicy. I like the sweet taste. The salad tastes fresh." Keep a small notebook or a note-taking app on your phone. Whenever you learn a new word, write it down with a sample sentence. Then review these in your daily self-talk or journaling. By seeing and using these words right away, you move them from passive recognition into active command, so your brain has what it needs to think in English without halting to search for a translation. Embracing mistakes and cultivating a positive mindset. Becoming an English-thinking brain takes patience and kindness to yourself. Each mistake is simply feedback, your mind spotlighting areas for growth. Instead of punishing yourself for errors, celebrate every attempt as progress. When you say something imperfectly, mentally note, Here is a better way to say that next time. And keep going. Use simple affirmations to keep your motivation high. I am improving every day. Thinking in English gets easier with practice. My brain is learning to flow in English. These positive statements, repeated in your self-talk, help your mind associate English thinking with confidence rather than anxiety. Creating an English-rich environment. Your surroundings have a powerful influence on your brain's language mode. Whenever possible, surround yourself with English. Change your phone and computer settings to English so every menu and notification becomes practice. Follow English language social media accounts that share short, simple content, daily news bites, inspirational quotes, or jokes. Watch a beloved movie or series in English, first with subtitles, then without, shadowing key lines and pausing to repeat. If you can, join an English conversation club, online or offline, where everyone shares the same goal. Use English only during those sessions, creating a mini immersion that shows your brain how valuable English thinking can be in real interaction. All these steps, tiny daily habits, environmental labels, self-talk, visualization, practical tasks, vocabulary building, positive mindset, and immersion, work best when done consistently. Even 5 quiet minutes of English thinking each day outperforms sporadic 2-hour sessions. Your brain craves routine. Daily repetition weaves English deeper into your mental pathways. Choose a stable time and place for your English thinking rituals. Perhaps it's after breakfast with your coffee, or just before you go to sleep, reflecting on your day in English. Link these new habits to existing ones, like brushing your teeth or winding down for bed, so they slide naturally into your life without extra effort. As you practice, keep a simple log, a few lines in a notebook or notes app, tracking what you did each day. Monday, 2-minute self-talk about my weekend. Tuesday, labeled objects in my room. Wednesday, shadowed 2 sentences from podcast. At the end of each week, review your log and note one improvement you felt. Maybe you felt faster when forming simple sentences, or you remembered a new word without pausing. Celebrate that victory. If you notice a plateau where your mind slips back into translation, try adding a fresh exercise, perhaps a new visual label, a different self-talk topic, or a short reading must paraphrase session. Variety keeps your brain engaged and prevents boredom. By now, you have a toolkit for training your brain to think in English. Start with tiny, daily moments of English labeling, self-talk, and visualization. Integrate English naturally into tasks like journaling, cooking, and shopping. Expand your active vocabulary in context. Embrace mistakes as progress. Enrich your environment with English media and conversation partners. And above all, practice consistently each day. Remember, this journey is not about perfection, but about communication and growth. Every simple sentence you think in English builds new neural connections, making future English thoughts easier and more automatic. In time, you'll find yourself dreaming in English, enjoying conversations without pauses, and feeling proud of how far you've come. Thank you for spending this time with me on this amazing episode of. I hope these strategies feel clear, simple, and, most importantly, doable right now. Pick 1 or 2 techniques today. Maybe start by labeling 5 objects in English, or record a 1-minute self-talk about your breakfast. Notice how your brain responds, and build from there each day. In our next episode, we'll explore practical ways to improve pronunciation through mouth exercises and listening drills, helping your new English thoughts come out clearly and confidently. Until then, be patient and kind to yourself. Keep thinking in English, and celebrate every step forward. Think and speak in English. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.